Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no, whatever. Just hello, why not? Today I've been taking a look on the auto companies. I'm not much of a car guy, I like to draw cars, but I like to drive them, but I like to know the basics in mechanics, but I'm not that type of guy that has magazines of cars laying around and all of that. No, sorry. No patience for it, okay? I want a car that is practical and that works. Now, I've been I'm not going to show the pieces because my videos might be called out or something like that. So I will just tell you that you can see these news in Reuters, in Euronews, in France 24, I think, in other news outlets. And now, this one is about Ford. You know Ford? No? One of those big companies the US still has. Hmm? No? One of those that is able to sell with a loss in Europe to maintain a minimum slice of the market. You know those ones? Those guys? You know that apparently their founder was a bit fond of Hitler. You remember those guys? Now, Ford owes guidance, you know, plan. And it will take 1.5 billion loss due to the Trump tariffs, making America great again. Right. The quarterly earnings fell by 40 cents a share. The tariffs are adding 2.5 billion in gross costs, and they had a drop of 2.3% after hours. Hours. Okay. What are they saying here? Here it is. This one is in Reuters too. This is what the CEO from Ford, Jim Farley, told the analysts Monday evening. So for reference, this was around I think 7 or 6 of May or something like that. Okay, it's still too early to fully understand our competitors' responses to these tariffs. It's clear, however, that in this new environment, automakers with the largest US footprint will have a big advantage. Okay. Oh God. Whoa. The tariffs this one is in Reuters, and I'm going to read this. Okay. So please go check out the Reuters, check out their contents. They are not 100% correct. In my opinion, this is my opinion. Remember that. Fact check me always. But they usually they usually hit the numbers in the mark. I just don't agree with some of their interpretations. But they are saying this. The tariffs are expected to add 2.35 billion in costs overall for the year, mainly related to expenses from importing vehicles, from Mexico and China, Ford executives said. The automaker suspended automotive exports to China. Hmm, wonder what wonder why that was. Why did Ford stop? Oh, the tariffs. The tariffs and the Trump tantrum. You put five, I put 10. You put 10, I put 20. You put 20, I put 40. It's like watching a tennis match for dumbasses. Okay. Oh my God. Ooh, boy. I would read this if I was you, if I was an American. I would read it because he's saying, oh, it's just a big company, it's going to fall. I love them liberal tears. If you don't understand what this means, then you are even dumber than I think. They pay taxes, you know. Another, this one is also in Reuters. Electric vehicles loses grow. On top of headwinds from Trump's trade policy, uh, someone really has to explain to me if he in fact has a policy or that he just comes out with some shit and starts talking. Okay. Ford faces significant losses on its electric vehicles. The automaker this year project losses of up to 5.5 billion, this is dollars, on its EV and software operations. It has already sustained more than 10 billion losses since 2023. Ooh, baby. Ford ended an expensive effort, meaning they were trying to do something, to build the next generation electric. I heard about this. They were trying to develop a better electric car. Oh, I guess it will be up to the Europeans, the Chinese, the Koreans, you know, to uh, do what they are already doing. Shh, this is not good. And on top of that, I have here a very interesting news about Tesla. Okay, now if you don't know, Tesla has been losing market in Europe nonstop. In Portugal, Spain, France, Germany. The only thing that varies is the numbers, and those percentages are based on the cars that are produced or sold in the country. So a country like Portugal buys much less Teslas than Germany, naturally. Okay, but this one is very funny. You want to know a secret? Tesla's German car sales nearly halved in April. You know what half is? Kaput. Kaput in April. You've seen the percentages. Now see this, the real deal, the truth. The truth is out there. No, it's not out there. It's in the news. Out there, there is the Fahuka Leute, the mad people. Now, this is, my God. Let me see the percentages here. This is from the same source, TBA. Tesla sold 885 cars in Germany in April, down 45.9% from a year early. Between January and April 2025, it dropped 60.5% to 5,820 units. Oh, I'm so sad. Oh boy. Now, allow me to explain what happened. In During this time, the purchase of electric cars, at least here in Germany, was more than 50% up. But they were not buying Teslas. They were buying Chinese cars, they were buying European cars, Korean, Japanese, whatever, but mostly Chinese because they're cheap. No, it's the truth. They are cheap and they are practical. But in that you buy a Chinese car today, tomorrow there is a better European one. You buy the European one, or you buy the Korean, or you buy the Chinese, or you go back. Oh, sorry, you buy the Korean, you buy the Japanese, then you go back to Chinese, whatever. You buy what is good in that moment and that you need. Okay, but so this means all EV producers have profits or increased, at least increase in sales, except Tesla and Ford, as you can see. And where are those companies from? Tariff land. I'm smiling, but I'm not mocking. I'm just smiling because it's so ironic. I have told you this before. Schadenfreude does not suit me. Laughing at someone or someone's uh, predicament, not for me. I'm smiling. This is a nervous twitch I have because I find it ironic. Ironic, you know, it's deeply ironic that someone claims that is taking measures to make his own country good, better, richer, with more power, and every step of the way, that country grows weaker. Sorry, weaker. It grows more unstable. And I want to ask you something. What do you think will happen to these companies when the bank comes knocking on their door? They are going to have to find money. And where will they find that money? The competition will be right there, telling, I will buy your operations here, I will buy your operations there, oh, I will buy that brand of cars, and I will build it myself. This is what happened to the British auto companies. Oh, you don't know that. Hmm. Oh, the Brexiters don't know that too. Imagine the things that they don't know. And you think you think those companies are going to continue to build as much inside of your country? Because you see, those companies, even if they have productions here in Europe, for example, or in China, Ford has it, they are paying indirect taxes because they are foreign companies. But I guess you don't know that too either. Okay, fact check me. Ask an accountant. You think you can produce wealth here, take it to your country, and not pay the taxes here? You really have that illusion, or you have the illusion that, for example, you still perhaps believe those things that are going around in TikTok. I don't know. I don't go on TikTok. Don't have it. Uh, of the French quality goods being produced in China. You still believe all of that. Good for the Chinese. They are still fooling you. You idiot. Look, my dear friends. Technically, today, most of the car companies, they are not uh, producers of the entire product per se, but they assemble parts that they source. So, for example, cars made in the US, they source a lot of things from Mexico, Mexico, from Canada, and also from other parts of the world. Your entire military complex, for example, all of those weapons that your military has, they are composed of and plane in your plane industry, they are composed of parts they source from other countries. And you say, well, they can produce them right here. Okay. One, do they have the technical skills to do it? Two, can they afford to build it there and then sell it? And at what profit? And three, do you really think companies won't go the easy way out? You know what? You want to know what the easy out is? Is I'm selling 100 bolts to an American company that is producing tractors. But the guy in the other country, he will pay me the same money, or even more, or perhaps less, but I won't lose my money. My choice is either sell with for example, if you put, suppose you put 20% taxes, then when I'm selling them back into your country, here are your bolts plus 20%, or I will have to move my production into your country. Do you know how much that will cost? Actually, the opposite is happening. Where is Subaru? They moved back to their country. Why? Because it's cheaper to produce there than to produce here in the US now. And I continue to listen to these people. The ones, it's two crowds. It's the ones that are laughing, and amongst those that are laughing, there are some that are not laughing, and that actually are speaking and telling what is happening. And then you have the other crew of you know what this is? This is what you put in front of the horses and the mules and the donkeys' eyes so that they don't get distracted or frightened by things happening around them. So they just look forward. They are just only looking in front of them. And okay? And this is what the MAGA are. And some of them are voluntarily doing it. And a minority of them are genuinely evil. But those are the ones doing the manipulation. And yet, you people, you still believe in this. Your auto industry, it won't survive this because it's already a bit fledgling. You know, with this, it's off. And in 10 years or even less, you will be buying Chinese cars. And just that, because Chinese cars, European cars, Korean cars, Japanese cars, maybe brands will pop up in Canada or in Mexico because it will be highly profitable to build there. Maybe we'll be riding in Brazilian pickups. I don't know. This will happen. This will happen, and in all avenues of industry. Oh, and not to mention the breakup of supply chains, because the tariffs, they are going to mess with it. They are already doing it. You keep seeing those videos about the ports, and then on the other hand, I see videos. Oh, they are protesting in China and this and that, and then they show clips of things that happened years ago. I genuinely saw this. I saw some guy sustaining his position that China was suffering a lot with all of this. And before I continue, of course, it is suffering some economical consequences of that. The key factor here is that the state can go in, quell any any attempt of raising your head and protesting, or simply arrive, here's your money, you can eat, shut up and go home. Not the US government. The US government isn't able to do that for many reasons. Number one, no money, and number two, political consequences. So stop it. Even if they were protesting, it's nothing unless it becomes a countrywide protest. And even so, I have my serious doubts. But let's continue. At least for the foreseen future. Perhaps in 20 years, when the generations that are now living in wealth and in better conditions, uh, when they grow enough in the future and become a majority in the future to end the system, if it suits them. Important condition. But and I saw this guy, and he was showing images. And the funniest thing about this, I won't even say the name because I don't want to give any kind of crowd to these people. I think it was not even in China. I think it was in Myanmar. And this was before the Civil War and all of this confusion, when people were still protesting the government. And he was making this very serious TikTok saying, ba, 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 they are suffering, ba, 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 ba. My friends, the United States is not even 10% of the Chinese economy. You think they can't afford it? Oh, really? You really think that? Okay. Then you continue to think that. Continue to say that the tariffs are filling the coffers. They are filling the coffers with your bloody taxes. You are paying for it, and you will continue to pay for it. But I guess you don't listen. Nah, you don't listen. You don't listen, it's getting useless. And to be absolutely honest, I'm getting a bit tired of it. I might start talking about something else because this is getting to be so petty, illogical, emotional. You know, when you see me getting uh, angry or swearing or whatever, I'm I'm not being I'm not trying to get views or whatever. This is what I'm feeling, and it's absolutely annoying to see people spreading misinformation this way and knowing that the US has absolutely zero laws to prevent it. Around here, if you spread misinformation, there are consequences. Reason why, and I will repeat myself again, fact check me because I might be wrong. I try to never be wrong. I never lie. When I'm speaking, I am honest. So I did see this video of this person on YouTube in a compilation of others, and that one hit me because look, I am not an expert in anthropology, in ethnic differences between people, but I just looked at the video and saw these people are not even Chinese. Well, but I guess like the person that said that they were peasants, I guess for most of you they are all the same. There are no differences between them. And even if it's difficult for me sometimes, of course, if you're not used to look at people, at least I know the Chinese people that live here, and that with whom I speak, because their faces are different, and it takes a little adaptation on our part, but they are different, and the different ethnic groups are different. The Japanese are different from the Chinese, from the Koreans, from the Mongols, whatever, from people from Burma, from people from Indonesia. No, they are all different. Having squint eyes is nothing. Mine are also a bit, and I'm not even Asian. I don't know, maybe in the German side, I have some Mongol or whatever. Who gives a crap? Look, I'm sorry for this rant. Sorry for this, but for God's sakes, man, educate yourself. You see those videos in TikTok and whatever, and you think that is real, and you listen to those crazy people. Now, if you are looking at that to have a laugh because you think it's funny, it's the same thing as me liking to watch horror movies. Fun, entertainment. But if you fall into that narrative and if you believe in those people, you'll be the same idiots that are saying that the American companies are doing great while it's written everywhere they are not. Educate yourself for God's sakes. See you next one.